Sonya and said, "Hell, what do I do now?" And then basically she has taken me under her wing and taught me everything she knows. And she's not only my mentor, but she's one of my best friends, and I'm very thankful that God brought her in my life. So here we are, 2x2 Rescue, and we thank you so much for letting us come today. Basically, I wanted to kind of give you an introduction on 2x2 Rescue, how it got started, and tell you a little bit about Sonya and some awesome things that she's done. 2x2 Rescue was started in 2002 here in Helena. Sonya noticed that there was an abundance of dogs running around, especially in Old Town Helena, that people were dodging traffic, trying to prevent from hitting. So she got worried about them, and she put a big yellow dog bowl out in the parking lot across from In Cahoots at the time, where the buses park now. And every day she'd go by and she would put food in the bowls. One day she noticed that somebody started beating her to the punch. Somebody started putting food in the bowl before she did. So one day she put a note and said, "Hey, let's team up, here's my number." She called, and for the next 2 years they formed what is today 2x2 Rescue. So we're super excited about that. One thing a lot of people don't know about Sonya, and that I went like this when she told me, was that she has a law degree. She studied law and didn't practice one day in her life because she can you imagine spending all that time? Wow. I was like, what? But she has a law degree, and she chose her passion for saving dogs over her degree in law. And I think that's pretty impressive.
Well, one less lawyer is always a good thing.
She lays down the law for dogs.
She does. Her work is not only recognized here in Helena, but many local news media recognizes her. For example, Stephen Hawk, who is a Helena resident, he works for CBS 42. Brenda LeDunn features 2x2 Rescue and work that Sonya does on her Matters of Faith segment on ABC 3340. Also, Claire Huddleston of Fox 6, she's the one that took care of the breeder bust when Bonnie Liberman had 13 poodles seized from her home last year in 1 hour. We were there, and Claire was there to film it for us, so we're very thankful. Someone else I wanted to point out also is Brad Strickland, who is a dog behavioralist. He features us in his segment on NBC 13 once a month, and we have a dog that'll go on there just to get some media. It's very great. Here's something very cool. Sonya's stories were featured in Dog is My Co-Pilot, which is a book by Patrick Reagan. It's a compilation of stories about private pilots that fly rescue animals to their forever homes. Shown here is a picture of Pilots and Paws, which is, they were transporting a beagle that was saved behind the woods in behind Helena Sports Complex, right? And they flew her to a beagle rescue in Florida. That's featured in there, so that's pretty cool, in my opinion. Here's something that I'm extremely proud of, and all of our volunteers are extremely proud of. In February 7th of 2009, Sonya received a Pedigree's National Shelter Organization Hero Award for basically a result of her dedication to animal rescue and what she was doing here in Helena. She received an all-expense paid trip to New York City to be honored at a black tie event at the American Museum of Natural History, including a stay in the Waldorf Astoria and VIP passes to the Westminster National Dog Show. Super great event, right? 2x2 volunteers are pretty much used to seeing Sonya like that.
And the bottom one more.
That's Linus in her face, about to bite her face off. She's got a couple of dogs below her, but basically this is how we know her. Torn clothes, dirty, several dogs by her side or in her face, and most definitely on her cell phone. Probably it's me. But this right here is a picture from a film that's going to be on National Geographic, and she's going to tell you a little bit about that later. Basically, I'd like everybody to stand up and show your support for 2x2 Rescue. Let everybody know you're here and that you're for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Volunteers, before you sit down, if you don't mind just going down the line real quick, say your name name and the city that you're from for the council and the leadership.
I'm Micah, this is Chef, we're from Tuscaloosa.
Lauren Hood. I live in Pelham and I own Lauren Hood's World of Dogs in Alabaster. Victoria,
Jack Zorn, Sonia's dad, from Silicaga.
This is your mom. And I too live in Silicaga.
Patty Croswell, and I live in Birmingham off Highway 280.
Misty Ballard, I live here in Helena. Stephanie Lucas, and I'm also in Helena.
I'm Stephanie Clayton. I live in Calera, and I'm the Pampered Pet Resort in Hoover.
Evelyn Neely, I live in Alabaster.
Melanie Draper, I'm from Helena, and I also work at Mel South, formerly Mel South, now Ems Park.
Lori Brandon, I'm from Tuscaloosa.
Payne Brandon, I'm from
Matt and Hazy Harris, we're from Helena.
I'm Joy Cook from Helena, Alabama. I also work for Nationwide Insurance, Scott Richards' agency, and he became so moved by what we do on Facebook. He gets exposure to 2x2 and all the stories of the rescues that we do, that he also supports the rescue through donations for every quote that an animal adoption occurs. He allows them, if they do a quote with him, he donates to the rescue also.
I'm Kathy Nolan. I'm Keith's mother and Jen's mother-in-law and Maddie's Nana, and I'm just in full support of all the puppies they bring in.
And she's from Irondale.
And I'm from Irondale. Yeah.
I'm Debbie Vines, and I'm from Alabaster.
Kelly Tile from Calera.
Stephen Kelly from Holsdale.
Gary Golden from Alabaster.
Chris Golden, Carrie's husband from Alabaster.
Tim Mickles, my tennis I did for Shorey, from Alabaster.
We're the Rozicki family, we're from William.
I really appreciate y'all coming. I know a lot of you had to take off work to get here. But I'm very, very humbled as to the hours, the sacrifice, financially, the effort that all of y'all put in to make this organization work. It is truly, sincerely, very humbling, and 2x2 would not exist without your energy, and I just appreciate it beyond words. So thank you for being here. And I'd like to thank y'all for having us. Mayor Hall, I'm so impressed with, I mean, you took office during the holidays and you took off running. And that's been an inspiration to me, to see you just work hard coming into office when the rest of the world's trying to shut down for a little bit. So thank y'all very much, and I thank y'all for giving us some of your time to be here. I've got each one of y'all a book that I'd like for y'all to take home, and it's signed with your names in it, but it's a small thank you from us to you. And this book is of just a few of the dogs that we've rescued over the years from Helena. 99% of them are Helena dogs, and now we're proud to say that from the streets of Helena, we have dogs in over 26 states in the United States. So I just think that is just unbelievable. I've also brought another small token appreciation for any of you that would like one of these books called Love Does. I read it over the holidays, and 2x2, we believe that eventually we're going to have our own book of Love Does. And it really exudes the spirit of what we do. We go beyond the dog, but we go to the person who owns the dog as well, and we try to help. And this is a wonderful book that just shows the spirit of love and how it can change a community. So I'd love for y'all to take one home if you'd like it. Okay. Just a few quick scriptures to let you know what our mindset is for our organization. Psalms 139 says, He knit us in our mother's womb. And in Acts it says that from one man He made every nation to live on the face of the earth, having determined allotted periods and boundaries of their dwelling in hopes that they shall see God. That just fires me up. It just fires me up just to think that God literally purposed for every one of us to be here during this time, right here, to do something really cool. In Ephesians it says, we are God's workmanship, created in Christ to do good works. And our works have already been prepared for us to do. He's just seeing if we'll raise our hand and go, okay, yeah, we'll do it. And then in John 6:27 it says, do not work for food that spoils, but work for something that endures in eternal life. And then our verse that our organization uses is Proverbs 12:10. A righteous man respects the life of his animal. And what is so cool is just thinking about God, our Creator, who made this unbelievable just galaxy. And then we can look to see all the way down to what He's made from the state to here we are in Helena, and He has a purpose for us. That just inspires me to know that what He's woven in my heart was planned. And even though I went to law school, that was my plan, and God says, I have a plan that's better, because He really knew my heart's desire. And so He put me in a place that I could work in my passion. So, man, it's my hope for everyone that they have a job that they consider the coolest job on earth, because I do. And I don't even really consider it work. I consider it, I mean, it's burdensome sometimes and it's stressful sometimes, but it's a joy. And so many Americans cannot say they go to work and they're fired up about it. And that's my hope for everyone, because I'm fired up for it. All right, this is how we got started. A lot of y'all don't even, you don't know how it came about. And some of you may actually, and Chris, I think that little shack is on some of y'all's property. Your family knows it's been housing some babies. You're calling the member out. But we named her Lucy. And when I moved from Montgomery to Birmingham, I literally slammed on brakes in Old Town Helena because I saw a pregnant dog and her little nip-nips were hanging to the ground, and she looked so distressed. She was emaciated, and I thought, oh, and she was dodging traffic in the night, and you could tell she was looking for food. So, I didn't know the neighborhoods at that time, and I didn't know to be scared, and I still don't really
No, to be scared.
yeah. But anyway, I went down what was, I think, called Rat Road for a while or something, I don't know, in the night, knocking on doors, and I just said, is that your dog, is that your dog, is that your, no, but her puppies are over there. And so, even though she wouldn't come to humans, it took me 7 years, it's sort of embarrassing, but I tried everything, tranquilizers, everything, but she was so smart, and that's why she was still alive, but she outran me for 7 years, even outran a dart gun by the police department. 100 puppies later, we were able to catch her and spay her. And this is one of my girls. This is one of her children. Baby Lucy. This is baby Lucy. And
Looks just like her mama.
looks just like her mama. But what is so awesome, if you can quickly do well, you don't even want to do the math. 100 puppies on the street. And then in 4 to 6 months, those puppies are having puppies. And then they do that twice a year. So you can get into thousands in a year. So by spaying this one dog, we've cut it off right there. And that's our goal. Thank you, Lisa. Another dog that helped start 2x2, his name is Redford. He as well, this picture on the top left, that is him trotting down Old Town. He finally, after about a year of putting food out for him in Cahoots parking lot, he let me scoop him up one day and I put him in my car. He then from there, he got put on our website, and a wonderful man in Maine wanted to adopt him. So Redford got carpooled from Alabama to Maine. People volunteered from here to Maine to drive Redford in a couple of hours each little leg, all the way to get him to his new home. Now Redford sends me a Christmas card every year. He picks out the family tree, and literally that's his backyard. So, Redford's living better than most of us right now.
That was his 10th birthday, right?
I think so.
Hey, I'll just say this, Redford reminds me of a cousin of mine who won the Florida lottery.
Yeah.
Now, I don't get a postcard though.
So what happened was, I started asking questions. I just said, I wanted to help the dogs, but I didn't know what to do, and I couldn't put them all at my house, and I didn't really know anyone here. And I bumped into Billy Harris one day, and I said, Billy, I really would like to help these dogs and almost before I could finish my sentence, him and Mayor Penhill were like, here. So they handed me the key to the kennel, and they said, go to it and knock yourself out. So this is the city's kennels that's down there by the water plant. And the fencing that you see and the few barns that you see have been added on by people in the community. They've donated the fencing in the barn. When we started, it was 6 very small kennels, about 4 feet by 6 feet, with a leaking roof. And the community came in. These people right here donated wood and tin and their supplies and tools and built a roof that didn't leak, and then started donating barns so the kids would have a place to get in during inclement weather. So, once we started picking up the strays on a regular basis, and we literally go out, and it's a daily process for me to run through certain neighborhoods that I know generate a lot of strays. Liberty Heights is a big concentration, and so we drive through, look for dogs that are in distress or on the streets, or the owners are willing to let us intervene somehow, whether with medical care, spay or neuter, or find a new home. And so what we did at that time, we formed a nonprofit, an official 501c3. And what makes this so different is there's basically 3 organizations that take care that intervenes for dogs in the country. You have your humane societies, which are really there only for owner relinquishments. They are not set up to go out looking for strays. So those are owner relinquishments. On a good day, statistics say that 2 out of 10 will live out of theirs. In the Birmingham area, easily about 2,000 are euthanized a month, easily. And some of those, until last year, were put in gas chambers, very inhumane ways. Then you have your animal controls, which are to help the municipalities. And then you have your rescues. And the way we're different is we are a nonprofit, we are a rescue, but we are the guardian angel for Helena, so that the animal control here is the only no-kill animal control in the country that we know of. And that is phenomenal. And what that means is, it doesn't matter because of age, it doesn't matter because of vet bills, it doesn't matter because of breed. We will find that dog a home, and we will not discriminate because it's 12 years old, or you want to walk up here with Shep? Come here, Shep. This is Shep. He was rescued off of Roy Drive last winter. I got a call that there was a vicious beagle, and he was vicious.
Lady told me he was rabid.
The neighbor found him in her yard, staring at a chain link fence, and he wouldn't move, and she was too afraid to approach him. When he was found, it's okay, Shep. It's okay, come here, Shep. When I found him, it was the coldest day of our winter. He had one eye already sewn closed and one eye that was protruding. We immediately scooped him up. We took him to the Alabama veterinarian care in Bessemer and had the other eye removed. And through Facebook donations, we raised over $1,000 for this little guy because we believe he matters. He has value. And this guy has seen more of the world than a lot of us have. His new owner has taken him, 22 states? He has seen Mount Rushmore. He has seen the Grand Canyon. And so he has seen life through her. And that's what's beautiful to see, that that even though he may have a little bit of a handicap, that he is still giving love and being loved. Isn't that right, Shep Shep? Thank you, dude. Thank you. One of us, we go to the kennels 365 days a year, whether it's snowing, birthday, anniversary, Christmas Day, Thanksgiving, whatever it is. Am I talking loud enough for y'all back there? Okay, good. We take care of the dogs, feed the dogs, walk the dogs, clean up after them. On days that I can't go or whatever, I pay someone to go in my place if I can't find a volunteer. And our kennels now are maintained fully by donations. Walmart in Chelsea has given us favor, and they donate once a week. So I drive once a week to Chelsea. I pick up a big load of dog food. All of that is free, and it feeds all the kids. So, and then I'm on call for any emergencies or pickups that's needed 24 hours a day. And believe it or not, on my way over here, I was asked to go pick up a dog. So I'm running an address over there in Hillsboro. And then, in addition to this, is our daily operation of just running the nonprofit so that our animal control is very successful. What we do when we pick up a dog for the city is we immediately assess it. We can generally tell if an owner's going to be coming for the dog, so we put it at the kennels. If it needs immediate veterinary care, we go straight to Dr. Fuller in Bessemer, who gives us wonderful prices, and lets us run a tab, and that's very nice. And then we hold on to the dog if we know an owner is coming, and but if an owner is not coming after sufficient time, we immediately put them on our website. We put them on 50 other sites of animal agencies that help them get adopted, so they get lots of exposure. Then they're listed on Facebook. And then, Stephen, if you'll stand up, Stephen helps us as well transport the animals every Saturday to the Hoover PetSmart, and we spend Saturdays there with Helena dogs for families to come in and meet and greet the dogs so that they get adopted.
And he lives in Fultondale and has a devotion to our rescue, which is huge.
We've mentioned that Brad Strickland also helps us feature the dogs on NBC 13. Lauren Hood, Lauren, if you'll stand up, she also helps us with the dogs that have a particular behavioral issue that may need tweaking so that it gets them home quicker. And she's our expert on that, and she'll take them and just make them gentlemen and ladies out of them.
Can I send my son over?
We get a lot of offers for that. I couldn't believe it. Just dogs.
We can put them on our website too. We got the big stuff. Then we've got Pampered Pets, Stephanie of Pampered Pets. She donates boarding to us. A lot of times our kennels become full, or the weather is so bad, either there's a heat wave or unexpected cold rains or something, and to get them out of the weather, or if we don't have a foster home, she has been very gracious to board the animals free of charge to the 2x2 Rescue. And actually, she's had one from Liberty Heights there over a year now, boarding, waiting for his perfect home to come along. We do have an adoption approval process. We process an application. We do check references, and we do home visits too. And I've literally driven a dog to St. Louis to check out a home. And I've done a home visit in New York City, and that was the most fun. And like I said earlier, we do have dogs in 26 states. We do have two really neat stories you can flip next. One is, this is our Rags to Riches story. Lily was dumped because she was pregnant, and within a few hours she had puppies. We got all of her babies adopted, and then we put Lily on the website. The girl standing left to me is the right-hand chick to Tommy Hilfiger. She lives in New York City. And she said, I must have Lily, I'm flying in. I checked her references, and when Tommy Hilfiger picked up the phone, I was like, click. I literally had to call back. I was like, that's embarrassing. I thought, I don't know what I thought. But she flew in one day, And I met her at the airport with Lily, and she was at home with her husband with Lily for dinner that night. And then we've had another lady flying from Vermont, and she was home that evening too with her dog from Liberty Heights. This is Paw Paw. A few of you may have taken some wounds from him. He used to defend this little shack. If y'all are familiar with Pauline Sears' home right there, Paw Paw, I now own Paw Paw, but he sat on that porch after Miss Pauline was asked to leave after the inside burned out. He sat on that porch for a year waiting for her. Talking about loyalty. And we would all take turns dropping off food for Paw Paw. Then after Paw Paw got bumped by a car, we decided enough's enough. She's really not coming back. We honored her wishes. She said she was. We tried our best to let her keep her dog. But then we just scooped him up, and he's mine now. This is Spencer, and he's from Starkey Street. And this is graphic, but this shows you some of the distressed situations that we intervene on. Nothing should live like that. Nothing. I don't know if you can tell, but that is about 1.5 feet of trash, feces, food, stuff that grows and that kind of stuff. And they would take his food and not even open the gate, just dump it over, dump the slop over. There was no food bowls. The water looked more like tar than water, and I'm not exaggerating. We finally talked him out of Spencer. We took him to Ralph Gibson, who's also a dog behaviorist, and because he had a few issues after being locked up like that for all of his life, and Ralph worked with him for a year, and then we found him a home. This is Islet. She was found in the woods behind the Helena Sports Complex, and she was found just like that, almost dead, nursing her babies. Islet now lives in Florida. Her babies do too, and the pilot that was shown earlier, that is who he flew. He flew her and all of her babies to Florida, free of charge, his own gas, flew her down there, and they all got wonderful homes, and they're featured in that book now. And y'all got to meet Shep personally on Lloyd Drive. That top right picture, too, is the picture of his neck, where he had been rubbed raw from being tethered for so long, and apparently got off the tether or released. But that was best for him anyway. It's better days. Yeah. Okay, Johnny and June Cash. These are their 4 babies, Folsom, Jackson, Carter, and a boy named Sue. And within rescuing them, within 24 hours, they had 4 puppies, and we had a wonderful volunteer foster them. And now I think we're 1 puppy ready.
They're all adopted.
All the puppies are adopted. And now we're working on the parents at home. This is a picture of one of the 13 dogs that we intervened with Bonnie Lieberman's case. I got a call from the police department, said, Sonia, can you help? Drove right over there, volunteer, Joy went with me. We filled the car literally on the spot within an hour with 13 poodles, and that left picture is the tummy, and that is feces matted in the hair, but that's the before, and now you can see that she's living large now, and she's living with dignity and with respect. Let me go back, and we did the rescue. We did front that. It took $4,000 to get those animals back into the proper shape that they should be in. And Dr. Fuller just said, "Bring them on in. We'll worry about the bill later," and we took care of them. This is Hercules. He's another example of we don't discriminate. A lot of times those faces right there get put down, no questions asked. He is nothing but a kangaroo. He is, he's more kangaroo than he is dog. He's the sweetest thing. He's a sweet boy. You can see the left bottom picture. You can see where the foot is red. It was actually degloved. We think he was hit by a car, and the foot was stripped of its skin and ligaments. And then the other leg had to have, was that 12 pins, Pace? 12 pins put in. We put it on Facebook. We raised the money, and now he got adopted last week and is living a great life. This is Scruffy. The before pictures to me is a little bit hard. I've seen a lot of this, but it never really gets old. But it goes to show you, just with a little TLC and a little vet care, that he's a beautiful dog and now lives a wonderful life in downtown Birmingham with a bachelor and is doing well. This is, we're calling Isis our Survivor of the Year. This is another painful picture to look at, but it's the reality of what we do and what we intervene. Isis, when she was found, I think she weighed in at like 23 pounds. The vet did not even know how she was still existing. She could not stand. When the volunteer pulled over on the side of the road to rescue her, she wanted to get up and run and didn't even have the strength. And she urged herself to run but couldn't. So the volunteer scooped her up. And now you can see to the bottom right, she's a gorgeous Pharaoh hound. She is in great health now. The top right is her being featured on NBC 13. And she's still in a foster home, and we hope that she'll be adopted soon. This is a picture from Project Liberty Heights. One of our projects for this year is we're going house to house in Liberty Heights. And over the years, I've gotten to know the community there. And at first, they didn't know really why I was there, while the white chick was driving through and checking on their dogs. But after a couple of years of just befriending them, we donated dog food, we donated school supplies, we've taken some of their children to church. I've personally babysat them. I've called DHR a few times on the children that needed it. We have donated clothes and appliances to a few that were struggling. So we've befriended them. And because of that now, we feel like there is a culture change happening down there in that they respect what we say. And here's Smokey right here, the owner who used to live in a storage shed, now has moved into a house, and he let us donate a doghouse. They used to not accept a doghouse from me. So now they're accepting a doghouse, they accepted the straw and the hay, they gladly accept the dog food. And we provided them some goodies for Thanksgiving too. But we're going house to house checking to see if their animals need vaccinations, and we're doing that for free. And we're spaying and neutering for free. And we're asking them, we're trying to get ahead of the game before the litters show up. So that way we don't have the perpetuation of the problem of the unwanted litters. And so we will be spending this next year really canvassing that area. And made a lot of great friends with the kids there. They expect candy when I drive up, and I'm glad to do that. But it's fun now, because now you can see the children are saying, "Hey, Miss Sonia, I think my puppy has something wrong," or "Do you have dewormer?" And before, years before, they wouldn't even speak to me, and now they're rushing up to me. So a lot of positive things are happening there. I mentioned earlier this book, Love Does, and how 2 by 2 has evolved is when we first started, I'll just be honest, it was all about the animal. And really, I saw people who didn't treat the animals well as bad. And they're not. Not all of them, some of them. But what I've learned over the years is there's no social equity without spiritual equity. There's no spiritual equity without social equity. I can't go in and say, "You're mistreating your dog," and not care that that little girl needs shoes on her feet. I can feed their dog, but I can see their child needs diapers. So we're learning, and we've all embraced it, and we love it. We're learning that to make a difference with the humane care of the animals, we've got to care about the person too. We care about man's best friend, but we've got to care about man as well. Over the holidays, Brenda LeDunn covered a story, Matters of Faith, that a guy hiking through Helena constantly carrying his dog in the heat. One of our volunteers stopped and asked him if he was okay, could he give him a ride, and could he give his dog water. He said, "No, my dog's got water in my backpack." They got to talk and became friends, and found out the guy, his family was killed by a drunk driver, He lost his wife and his baby, and he had not recovered from the grief, and is living in the woods, had nothing. And so Christmas holidays, these people scooped him up. They've provided furniture and money, and he's found a job. And now he and his dog Max live in Clanton and are getting on their feet. And so that's where I feel like, that's what I feel like we're called to do, is see beyond the animal and see the person too, and make a genuine difference in the path that someone takes in life. We believe that we're part of a legacy for Helena, and we believe that there's some really cool things that we could do together. What we dream of doing, what we want to do, is offer that no dog in Helena go unaltered if the owner is willing, due to a lack of funds. So if owner is willing and they don't have funds, or even if they just don't want to allot funds for that, we will find a way to spay and neuter. There is no way, with the population of dogs, there is not a market for it. It so outweighs itself. So we have got to come into the real problem, and that's the spay and neuter. We also want to offer no dog tethered due to a lack of funds. There are a lot of chained up dogs that are living a very miserable life in the area, and we want to offer free fencing. If you can't let your dog run and play because of funds, we will find fencing for you. We would love to implement a dog festival in Helena, something similar to Doodah Day, but more family friendly. We would also like to see an educational park, an educational dog park. Not just a dog park to run and play, but to teach a few little basics, some signs around that talks about the vaccinations, the importance of spay and neutering. Another thing that we have seen a vision for is we're going to create a series of children's books that highlight our dogs and the people of the community. And Shep will be one of the first books that we write. We want children with disabilities to see that there is hope beyond the disability. We want blind children to be able to read about Shep getting to see Mount Rushmore. We want the country to see the wonderful stories of how dogs have made a difference in people's lives. And we believe that with the characters of the community and the personality of the dogs, and you put that together, it's going to make a wonderful children's series. We also dream of a temperature-controlled building. Right now, everything is outside. It would be great to have a central location to function, housing of the animals until a foster home becomes available. And I don't know if I made that clear, but we do operate primarily out of foster homes. They go to the kennels, and as soon as we have a home available, just like we do with children, we move the dog into a home so that they are taught obedience and house training, and we get to know the personality so that we can match them up with the proper home. And then it'd be a storage place, and have a refrigerator hold vaccines and so forth. Go ahead. Here are a few of the children from the community that have already joined together. Zoe is here, and Zoe is one of our best foster mummies. She has taken in many of puppies at their home. They live off of Highway 93. And do y'all know how many puppies you've had come through your house?
About 20.
20? Casey, Matt, do you know how many have come through your house?
Puppies?
Or just dogs? About?
We lost count at like 70.
50?
It was
Probably 50.
Yeah, and that's
Including
what, in
puppies
2
with
years, they've had about 70 dogs come through their house. This is the Helena Girl Scout troop, one of the troops that they ask us to speak to them each year, and they also donate to us and earn badges. So we're glad to be a part of that. We'll also be speaking in, representing Career Day at Helena Intermediate next month too, and taking some of the dogs and showing the kids the different avenues of what to do with their life. I do want to tell you something very, very exciting. This past summer, 2 men traveled down from Michigan and did a documentary on the animal abuse in the South. And they spent a couple of days following me on the different tasks that I do during the day. And the project is called Roots of Rescue, and they've already put a trailer out on the internet. And it will be featured in National Geographic sometime this year. They're just working out the contract details right now. It will feature Helena and 2x2 Rescue in a very positive light of what we're doing to save the animals. And so I think that's something very exciting for all of us to look forward to. And it's called Lola Visuals is the company. And these are, no, those aren't actually pictures from our kids, but
They do have their own Facebook page too.
yeah. So that concludes everything I have to say, but I just wanted to open it up. If y'all have any questions right off the bat, or you definitely know how to reach me if you think of them later.
I'll say I don't have any questions, but I will say you clean up nice. I've never seen you look like that. Good job. I can relate. But I had talked to Leslie a while back after she met with you, and really honestly didn't know a lot about you or what you're doing. I knew about 2x2, but didn't know a whole lot about it. I didn't have like I really didn't have an opinion. I love dogs, I have dogs, but I just didn't know the detail and the amount of attention that you pay to, and all of you guys. But I just want to say thank you for doing that for us. I think that does kind of set us apart in a way that I had no idea we were being set apart. And I'm really glad that you went and met with her, because I wouldn't have even kind of pursued this direction without that. But she had wonderful things to say about what you do and talking about your project, Liberty Heights. I absolutely applaud the fact that you're willing to go into those communities and not make it just about the animals, but also about the people that live in our community. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
I think that is amazing. Thank you.
I appreciate that. It's interesting the different things that God does, because I was always told to be scared driving through there, and I will have to say a policeman pulled me over one time when I was driving through there, and he was new, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Feeding dogs." And he was like, And I'm like, "Look in the back, look." Well, he finally then admitted, he goes, "Okay, I thought you were a soccer mom coming to get some dope." I said, "No, I don't have children, nobody plays soccer, and all I have is dog food back here." So it was interesting, but I have, over the years, really fallen in love with those communities and with the people there. And now, even though I'm told to be alarmed, I mean, I may be naive, but I really think most of them would have my back in a second, because they trust me, and they know now that I trust that there's a little bit of, there's some trust there. Yeah, there's some respect.
Trust and respect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that goes a long way. And I do want to add this, is it's wonderful to know we've got other communities watching us and loving what we're doing, and some of the people here are literally here to learn more so that they can take it back and implement it in their cities. And so we're a template. We're a template of something really cool, of change that I think really is going to grow nationwide. We had the opportunity to be on a national speakers list in Utah in October. That's a possibility for us, and that is also going to help this grassroots effort grow. But I want to thank y'all again for your time. I hope I haven't taken too much of it. But
listen, we appreciate it very much on behalf of the city and everybody here as the mayor. I just want to tell you what a great job we did. Of course, I already knew that. You know, I told you, no matter what happens, that I'd support you staying and doing what you do. I just hope we'll keep you. That's the biggest problem. You're getting so much exposure, but we don't want you to leave. And you know, we'll continue to do everything we can to assist you.
thank you.
Of course, you know, animal abuse is always systematic and another problem. You know,
Exactly.
We realize that.
Good.
And coming from a law enforcement background, we've seen things that
Right.
you've seen too. And
Right.
even the abuse of people continues, you know, as a social aspect of animal abuse. And so
Right.
we realize that, we know that. So we're so glad that you're in tune with that. And we just appreciate it so much. I mean, we can't have, I mean, there's nothing we can do to top it. We couldn't hire 3 animal control guys tomorrow and do what you do and show the love and care that you show to the family, so we appreciate that. I will say this in closing, because I won't get long with you, but how much I appreciate your efforts too, and you know you have my support, and I'm sure the city council feels the same way.
Thank you.
And, but in closing, thank you, appreciate it, and I appreciate you coming out, it's the effort, you know, and it's all volunteer, I mean, good grief, you know, it's your own gas, your own time.
Quality of life is what it's all about.
It is, it really is. I will say this, I have 2 rat terriers, both came from, you know, humane societies and different places, I've had dogs with you, but one of them, you know, little Eddie, if you saw this presentation tonight, I'm afraid he'd run away from home and act like he's a stray. Some of your dogs, you may want to put them up and I'll let them. We appreciate it. I mean, it has, it's tremendous, you know, the job you've done in that area. Very familiar with it. Mike Jones, police officer here also, and we're very aware of the challenges we have with animal control in that area. And it's so good now that we're right through there and don't see, you know, as many strays that we have. And so we appreciate it very much. And you know, anything my office can do to assist you guys, you know, in your endeavors, you know, please don't hesitate to call me.
In case you're wondering, there is a pack of 7 that we're very aware of. and we're trying to get to them. They're in Old Town, and a lot of city workers, yeah, have seen them, and they're very feral, but we're on it.
Yeah, they're fast. They're fast.
They are fast.
We appreciate it.
Thank y'all so much. Thank you.